This morning, we're shining a spotlight on the OnlyFans model murder case in Florida and what the defense calls a big win in court on Wednesday. The OnlyFans model attended the hearing, and she's accused of fatally stabbing her boyfriend, Christian Obumseli, at the couple's apartment back in 2022. She says it was in self-defense. Her parents, Kim and Deborah, were also at the hearing, and all three Clenneys were accused of unauthorized access to a computer for allegedly accessing Christian's Obumseli without authorization after the incident. But that's been disputed by Courtney Clenney's attorneys, Frank Prieto and Sabrina Puglisi. They've told us that it was a shared laptop, one that Courtney and Christian shared throughout their relationship, and that nothing was wrong. But this has spun into a whole other case, really, that's been kind of running parallel to the homicide case. And now there's been a big ruling for the defense in sorting through who had proper access, some messages that were protected and privileged messages between Sabrina and Frank and the Clenneys were accessed by the government, and that is just wrong. And now the court has recognized that and made a big ruling in the defense's favor. So let's dig in a little bit about this. I want to welcome in now attorney Sabrina Puglisi, who represents Courtney Clenney and has been through so much in fighting this fight that's become like a secondary fight, but a really important one. Sabrina, good morning to you. So tell us, what exactly did the judge find after all of this was brought to his or her attention, please?
Yeah, thank you, Julie, for having me. And I think yesterday was a really big win for us because it really just affirmed what we've been saying all along, which is this is a win at all costs mentality by the prosecutors. She ruled that there was an attorney-client privilege relationship between us and the parents, and that they violated it when they looked into the messages that we had.
And Sabrina, even backing up a little bit here, correct me if I'm wrong, but wasn't it that you all had sent the laptop to your own investigator first, and they got wind of that through these privileged messages that they improperly accessed, right? And then they went, got the warrant, seized the laptop from your investigator. Am I right on that?
Yeah, absolutely. And I think the big point is here that I just want to make sure everybody understands is this is not like a win by a technicality. There was no crime here ever that occurred. We did everything right by the ethical rules, by law. We have every right to investigate our defense. We did so. We made sure that everything, chain of custody, everything was preserved properly. We gave it to our investigator. And honestly, there's nothing of evidence on the laptop anyway. But this is really just the prosecution trying to discredit the parents, right? They know they're witnesses in the case. And so what do? They go ahead and arrest them. Not only do they not let them just bond out on a case that is bondable, they go ahead and issue a warrant. They then embarrass them in Texas. It's on video. It's leaked for the whole world to see on YouTube. I mean, this is just one step. It exactly shows what we've been saying all along, that, you know, they don't follow the law, they don't follow the rules, they're doing whatever is necessary.
Yeah, that's really messed up. It's a pet peeve of mine. You know, the rules are there for a reason. You must follow them. You know, attorneys, whether you're on the side of the government or in the private sector, court appointed, whatever it is, you've got to follow them. So now, Sabrina, how might this affect the homicide case? So kind of big picture, we know that is, of course, the most important case for your client, Courtney. What does this ruling do, if anything, in that case?
Well, I think one thing it does do is it gives us even better opportunity to have these prosecutors removed from the case. We've said all along they're not following the rules properly, this win at all cost mentality. We finally, I think, are going to be able to get them off the case. We are going to absolutely move to recuse them. I honestly hope that with this ruling, they'll do the right thing and just recuse themselves. But if not, we'll file the motion. But we also are going to move again for another bond motion. You know, this has given a 6-month delay to poor Courtney, who sits in jail languishing while all this nonsense has gone on.
Wow, this is really something. And remind me, Sabrina, because this is a lot, and I want to make sure I'm not confusing any of our viewers. Was it through Courtney's phone initially that they had gone in? Where were the messages initially obtained that were privileged?
Well, this is also what's so interesting, Julie, that you asked that, because it's through the parents. And what they did on this warrant, you know, having been a prosecutor, you know that when you're asking, being particular on the warrant time frame means a lot. They're asking, it's an investigation on a homicide. They're asking for messages 2 years before the homicide and a year and a half after the homicide, after Courtney's been in custody for over a year. What are they searching for to help them investigate a homicide that happened that long ago? They looked at everything belonging to the parents into the all private moments. It really is just so wrong.
Wow. And the basis for the warrant was what?
They thought they had some kind of maybe communication. The way it looks is that it's immediately after they're looking for some kind of communication between Courtney and the parents, which, okay, maybe that's understandable. But then why, when she's in custody and you would no longer be needing to look at those messages because they don't exist, why would you still need to be looking? And why would you, when you see communications with attorneys and their clients, would you look into them? So again,
Right.
Win at all costs.
Right, right. And so it was like when they see these group texts with you and Frank on we know you're jointly representing her and her parents, that should have been, oh no, this is privileged. But instead they, if I'm understanding this correctly, Sabrina, it seems to me tried to do kind of a workaround and say, well, the parents aren't your clients, but they were. The judge decided, yes, they were. Absolutely, they were. You've said that all along to us on this program. So they kind of tried to make it seem like, well, because they were involved, they're not clients, it's not privileged. We want it, we'll take it and make it part of our new case.
Right. They came up with so many different arguments, but you know, the judge really saw through them, really just, we're very pleased that the judge, I think she saw through the weeds of what they were arguing and she came up with the right decision.
Yeah, I mean, this really is in the weeds. I mean, it's like you really have to follow the ball. It's like a law school problem, Sabrina. Like when I'm listening to you, it's like they found these group texts and then learned about you guys having the laptop with your investigator and went and seized it and then wanted to see what was there. And you and Frank prevailed on this one. This is a big win for you. Do we have a trial date? Before I let you go, I want to just see, where are things on the homicide? This is an awful case, as you know. Any idea when it's going to actually go to trial?
No, and that's what's so sad is that this has just delayed everything because we didn't want to move forward with discovery, with doing more depositions with these prosecutors when we think they should not be on the case and we have to recuse them. So basically there's been a complete standstill for the last 6 months, and we had hoped to really get this case tried. We're still really trying to hope to get it tried before the end of the year, but I just don't know. I mean, now we have to do this motion to recuse. I don't know how long that's going to take. So we're really hoping that we're going to file another bond motion and, you know, fingers crossed that the judge will give her a bond.
You know, she just might, especially if those prosecutors, you know, if the judge is wanting to take that up and if they want to fight it, that could extend things. You're right. You know, perhaps something, a house arrest situation or something like that would be, you know, perhaps amenable to everybody. Sabrina, we could talk to you all day. Thank you so much for coming on and sharing all of this. We'll look forward to having you back very soon.
Thank you, Julie.
Of course. See you soon.